What's up, everybody? Welcome to DMG Gaming Podcast. We're basically going to do a pre-podcast before we actually do the podcast. I'm Ed Phillips, and this is my boy Grant Rowland. What's up, Grant?
What up, dude? I don't get an intro like I do you. I don't get a
No, you
special
don't get
introduction.
no. You're
Come on,
still
man.
you're still moving up in the ranks in Elden Ring,
Okay,
buddy.
that's
Yeah, you
fine.
don't get
That's
nothing
fine.
yet.
I'm an old peasant.
Yeah, you beat the first Remembrance boss, and we'll talk.
All right.
I
Hey,
might
we got
give you a rank.
I like how we got a double dose of intro.
Oh yeah. Well, no one's watching right now anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That's cool.
All right. So
we got to impress all our sponsors.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, all of them, right? None of them. Okay. So let's go over a few things before we actually do our podcast. We're going to talk about the new Superman and the way he looks, and they're trying to go old school, I guess. I have no idea.
So it looks like you can't really tell in that picture, but he's got underwear on.
Yeah, I mean, there's another picture that shows it really light colored, like old school, like what's his name, Christopher Reeves, right?
Yeah,
like that kind of old school. So, I mean, I don't know. It's do you like it? I mean, that looks okay because it's darker
it's
right
fine.
there.
I think it's okay for right now. I'm more concerned about how the movie's going to be, honestly. Because here's the thing: it's like any other. Every time they reboot a whole series or whatever, they have a costume for the first movie, and then the costume for the second movie gets ridiculously. Always seems like it gets worse. So that's what I would be more geared toward: is like, what is the next costume going to look like in the next movie?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, it looks all right. Yeah, but it is going to be depending on how they do the movie.
Like, do you remember?
The movie is.
Do you remember? Okay, so they had the two Tim Burton Batmans, which looked good. The Michael Keaton ones.
Yeah.
So they look good. Then they had the third, the one with Val Kilmer, and it was like all super, had like all the built-in muscles and everything. It's like over the top ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, they did the same thing for the newest Batman with what's his name? Edward from Twilight.
Yeah, well, they had.
I mean, they had to give him some muscle
because he's only
make him look like he has muscle.
He's only like 140 pounds.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, hopefully it'll be all right.
We'll see, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna take me a while. Every time I have to get used to a new character playing I'm used to Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take me a while to get used to. I don't even know what this guy's name is. David, whatever. I don't know. Is this David or something? I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, I thought Henry Cavill was pretty good.
I was Cavill. I'm sorry. I didn't say his name right.
Cavill? Yeah, it's Cavill, motherfucker.
I'd say Cavill.
Cavill? It's Henry Cavill. Get it right.
No, I'm sorry. Are you president of his fan club?
Yeah. Well, I know he's working on. I think he's going to do a Warhammer series on Amazon. Supposedly, that's the rumor mill is that he's working on a Warhammer project for Amazon.
I heard it's sponsored by Sweet Baby Incorporated.
Oh, fuck. No, don't say that. But yeah, so I think he's going to do. They didn't go into details, but they did say he was working on a project, and he's going to be like the lead. I guess creative mind behind it, which is good because he is a fan of those things.
He's like a nerd, isn't he? He's like the guy from what's the stripper movie where all the male strippers? Who was like one of them's like really in like the guy with Maglavilio or whatever his name, whatever. He's like a big D&D guy.
Yeah, well, he played Warcraft too, World of Warcraft. Henry Cavill, yeah, he played that too. But he is a nerd. But I mean, like his
us good-looking guys got to stick together.
You compared to him?
Me and him, since we're like doppelgangers.
No. Anyway, fuck no. Anyway, so
they call me HC when I'm out in public.
No, they don't. They call you KC for Krispy Kreme, motherfucker.
That was good. All right, you win this one. You win this round. Touche.
All right, so but yeah, so he actually, yeah, he played World of Warcraft, and like his favorite Space Marine like group is the Custodes, which is mine too. But he's really into Custodes and like Warcraft, Warhammer. I mean, I
So you
guess
and him
D
are
and
more.
D.
So you and him more look alike. Then y'all are both like the same. Like if you put a blonde wig on, you'd look just like The Witcher.
I mean, probably. You never know. Uh, but yeah,
Except you look like
we
the
do
guy
get
from
kind
the.
of confused. We get
Yeah, I know.
confused sometimes.
You get confused with
Like,
Rocky
is that
Dennis from The
Henry
Mask.
Cavill? What was
Rocky
that?
Rocky Dennis from The Mask.
Yeah. But yeah, but I think like Henry Cavill, I think would be, if he is behind the project, it's going to be good
Yeah,
because
I believe so.
he'll keep everything how it's supposed to be, not like they did The Witcher. He was like basically talking to him all the time, and like the writers from the Netflix series, and
They
they
weren't
just
listening to him.
they were not listening to him. So he was like, "Fuck this." I mean, really, they made The Witcher, and it's like 80% of the time, it's not even about him. You know what I mean?
This new season's not going to be as it's already doomed.
Oh
Like
man.
I'm gonna give old buddy a chance, but I
Well, it's not
mean,
even his.
it's
It's
not
not
his
gonna be
fault.
his fault. You
It's
know what
not
I
his
mean?
fault.
I think he'll do okay as Geralt, but it's just gonna be the writing. The writing is probably gonna be fucking terrible. It's not gonna matter. You could get the perfect. Besides Henry Cavill, you get the another perfect choice to play Geralt, and it's still gonna be shit. It doesn't matter who's gonna play him because the
Yeah,
writers
they
just
called.
have taken that series for a fucking tailspin.
Yeah, they called my agent, and I had to turn it down.
No, no, they fucking didn't. No, you don't even fucking have an agent.
Agent, and by agent, I meant my business phone.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's that. Let's see what's going on in the gaming world. The gaming world.
How about you breathe harder in your microphone?
I will.
That's what it sounds like.
All right. Well, I think everyone's heard about the Doctor Disrespect news. We'll get to that later in our actual podcast. We won't cover it right now. All right. Let's see.
We're living in wild times, people. Wild times.
Yeah. Avowed. That's coming out here shortly. Destiny 2. Let's take a look at the Twitter sphere.
They've been on Destiny 2 for like 9 years. Like
What's up?
literally. It seems like they've been on Destiny 2 for like literally 9 years.
Yeah, I know. I think they're probably going to get close to making another one or maybe a different game because I'm not sure if the final shape is like the last thing. I don't know. I don't really keep up
Here's the
with
thing, as I liked Destiny when it came out, but it got so repetitive. Like it was just so like all the levels looked the same. Like everything was just repetitive, man.
Yeah. So we'll see. All right. Oh gosh, I want to see that. All right. Twitter gaming news. Oh, did you see the we got followed by the creators of what is it? What is that game called?
Now you go disrespected by not knowing his game. Shame on you, Ed. Shame on you.
Oh, it's called. Oh hell, if I know, dude. They just followed us today. Oh, Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn. Those guys followed us today.
We're one of 25 people that they follow.
Yep. Well, we talked about it. I think we talked about them during the Xbox showcase. Our
We did.
episode on that, our podcast. The game looked good though.
We did.
I like the combat looked really smooth. Let's see what our boy Grums is up to. Oh, let me share this.
He's single-handedly fighting. He's on the front lines, guys.
He is. All right. So Chrome tab, share. Here we go. Actually, let's do this.
Come on, get the buttons right.
All right. I am. 1 second.
Mr. Producer.
That's right. Oh, here we go. Nah, I don't like that. Let's get in the bottom right.
God. Fucking
All right, can you see it
yes, I
or
can see it.
barely?
I could see it. No, I could see it. I've
So
seen this scene, so I already know what it is.
yeah, well, he's getting into talking about Wolverine, of course, sweet
Yeah.
babies, and it's pretty much confirmed. If you see here, so excited and grateful to say we're part of the teams bringing Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine to life. Yeah, that was confirmed several years ago. But the
They friend it.
yeah, they were in a Jean. I mean, how can you butcher someone like Jean Grey? I don't understand that.
She looks like doesn't even look like remotely attractive. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, talking about Doctor Disrespect. Yeah, it's very vague. We'll get into that later, though. ESG scores. Hey, our last episode we talked about the orcs and D and what they look like. This guy named Space Johnston tweeted out, "If those are orcs, these are paladins." Holy shit!
Dude, that's good.
But yeah, like the orcs
Look,
look really.
read what he wrote. He said, I think it's, what did he say? Mix it with some D&D for some six gun and sorcerer. Six
Oh yeah, I
guns and
think what
sorcerer.
all this is leading up to is the resurrect boot hero and mix it with D for some six guns and sorcery. Oh my gosh, that's what a Western paladin looks like. That's funny. But yeah, like the D. I mean, whatever they're doing to D is just beyond ridiculous. I don't know if they're. I mean, they're not going to attract anybody new. I mean, who are they attracting with that? People play D, not because they play D because it's fantasy
Yeah.
and it's good. It's an excuse to get together with some friends and play a fantasy game. They're not going to play because you're changing the characters to meet our real world cultures. You know what I mean?
There's
And
gonna be a lot of
that's not
empty
why they like
basements.
orcs. They don't like orcs because they're mixing them with real world cultures. They like orcs because they have their own culture and fantasy. You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous. All right, let's see what else is going on. Oh, Stellar
They
Blade.
Are they still talking about the Hawk Tua girl?
Oh, man, she blew up over the weekend.
Man, she got fired too.
Did she?
Got fired. She was a preschool teacher or something.
What?
She's from Mississippi, dude.
Is she? Well, I knew
Yeah.
she was country sounding, so I knew she was from the South
Yeah.
somewhere.
That's how them girls do it in Mississippi.
How'd they do, Grant?
Hawk Tua. Hey, at least we're number. I go ahead and tell you, last in education, first in the Hawk Tua.
Yeah. No, there's good looking Mississippi girls now.
Hell
We
yeah.
got some beautiful girls. So Stellar Blade, like I guess they didn't hit their number for selling, due to the fact that it's still only on PS5. So Stellar Blade only made, I think, less than 1 million copies sold or something like that, or maybe
Yeah, I
around
don't
a
know.
million.
I don't know why
But
they
it
didn't
didn't
send that
hit
over.
it didn't hit its mark. And I mean, it's a good. Everyone says it's a good game. I still haven't gotten around to play it, but everyone says it's a great game. It's just the fact that it's still only on PS5. So hopefully, when it hits like PC or something, or maybe they release it for all consoles too.
Only on
They,
PS5. I could see that. I could see why.
why? Why is that?
Superior system. I understand.
Yeah, but I mean, they need to make some money, dude.
Yeah,
That studio does,
how many gigaflops we got? Like, I don't know what the
you mean teraflops? I hope you don't have gigaflops.
whatever. I don't know what the fuck. That's
Talking
how
about
they
some
argue,
PS1 and 2 stuff.
dude. That's how they argue. That's how they
Yeah.
argue.
Oh yeah, teraflops.
I was like, what the fuck is a teraflop?
Yeah. So, but hopefully they get their game like more reach. You know what I mean?
They need to. I just think, man, they just need to go
And,
ahead and
you
do
go
it.
through all that to make a good game, and then it doesn't sell well. It's probably a horrible feeling to those
Man,
developers.
here's the thing. It's just one of those things. I think gone. They just need to go ahead and do away with all exclusivity for. You know what I mean? Like that's old school. You know what I mean? Like it's just like I get it. They did. I mean, obviously, like if like Nintendo, I wouldn't put Mario on other things. You know what I mean? Because that's like the staple. But you know what I mean? Like nobody cares if I don't know. I can't think of anything. Like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
care if Stellar Blade was on Xbox. Like, who
Well,
gives a
you
shit?
know the big push at the beginning. Well, the big, I guess, controversy at the beginning was that the Sony was basically censoring stuff like from the original game, and then they released like updates to the uniforms. Listen, I don't. You can do whatever you want with that, but if it is censorship, like they actually
Like,
censored
if
what
that's
the,
censorship, I wonder what the uncensorship looked like.
I mean, if you look at Baldur's Gate 3,
Yeah,
what are you
that's
talking
true.
about? You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
Like that, nothing on that was censored.
I know. Have
But
you seen
but if
have you
there,
seen my camp?
you mean your naked camp?
That's
That's
right.
all it is.
That's it. It's the only way you can join my party.
But like, if they censored it, like I don't. If that is true, if they actually censored it, I don't think you should mess with what the developers originally created. You know what I mean? That's in any game. Just don't fuck with it. If there's no pointing and saying, listen, I get it. Like if it's over the top, like anything
Like, if your
like
dick's hanging out all the time, then yeah, I mean, I get that.
or they represent like young, like
Yeah, that's
minors
true. Yeah, that's
in an
true. Yeah,
inappropriate way. I believe
yeah,
that should be censored
yeah,
or just completely get rid of.
yeah.
Uh, but if it's just like adult level material,
Like if it's a
it shouldn't be
side kit,
censored. If it was originally in the original part of, when the game was brought forth, um, none of that should be censored. I don't think they should touch what developers make. But I mean, there are hard cases. I guess you can
unless it's
make
by
it as.
Sweet Baby Incorporated, then let's just redo it
They
all.
can just stay away from everything. Honestly, I mean, let's be real.
Let's just censor that whole company.
Yeah. But anyway, let's wrap this pre-podcast live stream up. All right, guys, we're going to be live again here shortly. We just wanted to get on and check our streaming content before we actually go live with the podcast. But please make sure you follow us, subscribe on YouTube and follow us on X/Twitter. Also, our podcasts are available on all podcast platforms to include Spotify. Make sure you check our podcast out. Drive around to turn on. We have like 13 episodes out, about to have 14. Drive
Mhm.
around, listen to our podcast. We go into gaming news. We dab a little bit in political discussions, but not much. But we do hit back on a lot of the, I guess, the woke infestation of gaming that's kind of occurring right now. That
It's
has actually been occurring for several
a long
years
time.
now.
It has been a while.
Yeah, so we kind of push back on that mainly. But besides that, make sure you guys follow us. Stand by. We will be live streaming here shortly with our actual podcast. We're going to check and try to do it that way. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for joining us.